Recently, I was introduced to a new concept, one that I hadn't heard, called by this person Zamboni parenting. Now, I was familiar with helicopter parenting for sure. You know, a child falls on the playground, scratches its knee, and before they can even get up and assess if they're okay, the parents are there, helicoptered in. Zamboni parenting, I even Googled it. It showed up. Who knew? So think hockey between the first and second, third period. The Zamboni comes and clears the ice. And it's this idea that parents can try to, in so many ways, anticipate any rough patches for their children and try to smooth them out ahead of time. To go ahead of them even and to remove even the slightest obstacles. Of course, the danger with that is that the child never learns sort of resiliency, coping, independence. I want to say I don't want to use this in a negative, pejorative, or dismissive way. One of the greatest responsibilities entrusted to parents is how do I protect this precious life, these lives entrusted to us? And it's not always clear where that line is. I can speak to it from trying to mentor young priests. I'm so keen that the first thing that's established for them is that they feel safe. You're safe. You can make mistakes. That's how safe you are. But of course, if it gets too safe, they might come to the end of their time at Ambrose and not have grown in the way that God would want them to. So this idea where I think we all know from experience, we lean in the direction of what is comfortable. Can we agree on that? It's not automatic that we are going to push ourselves on that edge of growth that's uncomfortable, that might even be challenging or difficult. I remember when I was learning to preach in seminary, there was this wise priest, and he said, what's the goal of what you're going to be trying to do as an instrument of the Lord week after week? What's the goal of preaching a sermon, a homily? He said, it's to comfort the afflicted and to afflict the comfortable. And I've never forgotten that. And he said, if we're really true to our prayer and listening to the Lord, you can do both of those by one in the same message. Now, I find that there's certain gospels, if we're even mildly alert and listening, that even before the priest opens his mouth, have the effect of doing this. And this certainly is one of those gospels. The rich man and Lazarus. And Jesus is challenging each of us to put ourselves. That's why there is no name given to the rich man. That's my name. That's your name. And the danger of living life so comfortable that literally I don't even see or want to see the person who's at my doorstep. Open sores that I have to step over to get into, I love how it says, fine linen, so that I can dine sumptuously. You know, the saints would tell us that the greatest thing, the greatest obstacle that gets in the way from us having a genuine devotion, a faith that has momentum in following Jesus, I'm growing in holiness, is this mindset that can be so subtle. And it's a mindset where we have as the ideal this feeling that I've got everything under control. And I'm at peace with myself because I got it under control. Whew, it's a subtle thing. Life eventually is going to reveal to us in so many ways that we're not in control. And then what happens? Maybe I fall apart. Maybe I get bitter and resentful because I thought that was the goal. I thought I was supposed to control things for me and even for my children. The illusion of being in control. That's the heart of this parable. That's the heart of this parable. Do you remember when the rich man now has his eternal reward? And we're told he's tormented. He's tormented. And he looks and sees the poor man, who does have a name, by the way, one of the only in Jesus' parables given a name, Lazarus, at Abraham's side. And what's Lazarus experiencing that we're told in the parable? He's experiencing comfort. Blessed are the meek, they will inherit the land. Blessed are those who mourn, they will be comforted. So what's the ultimate mistake is that this man, rich man, no name because it's my name and your name, he decided to put 3 hotels on Park Place or Boardwalk. He decided, like the other parable, to just fill the barns and say, eat, rest, drink, be merry. So much so that he wasn't even provoked by human need right in front of him that had a name and a face that he had to step over to get into his house. And I know some of you might be thinking, maybe, I don't know, that when you pull off the highway and you're going to turn and there's someone there asking for something. Maybe, but that's not even who I'm thinking of. I remember a father told me some years ago, walking his child through the difficult time of adolescence, which wasn't easy, and there was some stiff-arming going on. But he was finally given to hear, as the psalm says, as God hears the cry of the poor in his son. And it changed his whole disposition, his whole attitude to not just endurance or arm wrestling or primarily disciplining, but like to hear the cry of human need, calling out to you, calling out to your own need. That none of us is self-sufficient. That is never the goal. I even have to be honest about my prayers. I say, okay, what am I asking God for? It's almost like God's saying, well, if I gave you that, then you're going to take it on your own? You're going to leave me and you got this now? Like, why would God ever give us those graces? So here's what I want to say, and I think we all know it from experience. Gravity in the spiritual life is going to bring us to places of comfort that won't always be good to us. This is where Paul tells Timothy in the second reading, pursue righteousness. Like you have to actually step into it. There's a whole tradition in our Catholic Christian, this is why we go on pilgrimages. I got to get out of my space where I'm too comfortable. It's not actually helpful anymore. It's why we have the season of Lent. It's why Jesus' first homily was repent and believe in the gospel. I'm either living by some spirit of false control, which is going to lead to false responsibility, which is going to lead to a lot of anxiety, maybe even anger, or I'm living this trust towards God. Like this trust that actually makes me sane, because it's what I'm called to. I remember Justin Cordham telling all of our parents at the first family formation, he said, I never end up at Planet Fitness to lift weights with my friend by accident. I'm not suddenly lifting weights saying, how did I get here? And he said, never do we get to church on Sunday by accident. Like, oh, how did I find myself in church? Like we actually have to be intentional and to prioritize it. We have to go against that gravity that would pull us down into comfort. My little kingdom where Jesus can't challenge me. He can't challenge me through surprises. He can't challenge me through human need. He can't challenge me through my own weakness. Because after all, I got fine linen and I'm dining sumptuously. So I just want to leave you with two questions like, where's the comfort in your life that's in the way of growth? What is that for you? Can you name it? Can you ask for God's help there? To say, draw me out of this, Lord. I give you permission. Bring me to a holy discomfort so that I can actually follow you, that my heart is sensitive to your voice. And then the second question would be, where is human need right in your life that maybe you've been trying to not see or insulate yourself from? And will you allow the Lord to encounter you through that person? Because if we take this parable seriously, that encounter might save you. That encounter might save you from what is an illusion, from what is false, from not even the goal of life. Consider the rich man, no name. Me, you. Look where he ended up. You've heard me say, like, imagine someone comes up with the cure for cancer and they end up in hell. That life is not a success. It's just not. We have breath, we have life for one reason. To live for eternal communion with God. So I don't have to helicopter in for my children. I don't have to Zamboni the ice. What I do want to do is help my spouse and my children get to heaven. To pursue righteousness, gentleness, faith, holiness. And today let's ask for the grace, like just to dare to ask for the grace, like, Lord, draw me out of what's comfortable. Lord, provoke me with the human need that bears your cry in my life, and let me see you.